Hey, Val. I'm your new best friend. Oh shit, what was that meme? Hey, Big Turks. My new best friend. Friendship ended with Mudasir, Val. Friendship ended with Mudasir. Mudasir. I don't want to hear one damn word about the purple sky. Yeah, I didn't get to see it. By the time I found out about it, it was already too late. I had no idea that it was actually happening until after it was over. I mean, that's something I would have. That's something I would have liked to know. That's something I would have liked to see, honestly. I mean, I looked at my window and I didn't see it. Hey, Rara. Maybe let me try looking out a different window. I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to go try looking out a different window. Nope, don't see it out that window either. Yeah, I can't see it right now. Hey, Vanna. Hey, color purple. 13 minutes. Where would I be located? This map doesn't actually have. I think I'm around the green line. Yeah, it's just so like I saw the map, the North American map, and I don't know how to read these maps. Well, I'm glad to have woken you up, Vanna. Yeah, I thought it was over already. You were at about the Queen Line. Hey, still nothing but clouds and bats. Looking at yeah, yeah. We are cloudy tonight, so I'm not sure if that would make a difference. Yeah, I thought it was already over. Need to get away from Sumo. And yeah, there's also the fact that with like living in the city, yeah, it's like light pollution is a problem. Clear skies and low light pollution in the city. Yeah, yeah, and we have neither where I live. Southern lights. South Pole gets penguins, so it balances out, Vanna. Going on all weekend. Ah, forecast is for rain. Yeah, I don't know that I'd actually want to go outside for it anyway. Like I just want to see it from my window. Like just seeing it from my window would be enough for me. I don't want to have to go outside for it. Have I ever seen? No, I don't think I've ever gotten the chance. The one time I might have had a chance to see it would have been when I was on a plane once, like really late night flight, and I think even then I didn't actually get to see it. Yeah, no name. It is something I would really like to see. Eclipse, whatever, don't give a shit. But Northern Lights, they look, they seem like they just look really pretty, and I like pretty things. Pretty things are nice, you know? Supposedly AM radios will be working better. Who the hell still has an AM radio? Who the hell uses radio? Seen them in the Ottawa Valley in northern BC. Nice. How do they happen? I don't know. I have no idea. Magic. It's all just magic. CB radio? No. That I got a vintage Mickey Mouse radio for Christmas. And immediately started asking how to load MP3s onto it. Actually, shit, people don't even use MP3s anymore, do they? Everyone just uses fucking Spotify these days. Yeah, immediately started asking how to load Spotify on it, I assume. $26 today. That's pretty warm in Celsius. Hey, Ann. Hey, hamburger eyes. Horrible right wing shit. Yeah, that's it. That tracks. That absolutely tracks. That was Cornwall weather. I guess cloudy today. Yeah, radio in general, I think, is kind of dominated by horrible right wing shit. Because the only people who still listen to radio are old people. Old people who are threatened by change. You hate when someone lets talk radio play? Yeah. Bento boxes? I don't know. I guess they're cute, but I don't know that I'd actually want a bento box myself. I don't know that I'd enjoy the stuff in there. Aw, that's sad, Anne. Remember as a kid, when I was a kid, my brother brought home some like newborn kittens that he and a friend had found, um, sort of behind our house. It had been what happened? It's 30. It's yeah. My friend found them in like sort of an area behind our house, and brought them in. And we tried to take care of them overnight, but they all died. I mean, we didn't know what the hell we were doing. We were young. We didn't know what we were doing, and with CBC cross country checkup, we did strawberry frappuccino. Cool, cool. You hear radio in the Commonwealth? Uranium fever? I think it's called radiation poisoning. CBC radio, hard to figure out. Only the truckers. That's CB radio. No, Vanna. New emojis. There's one on my jacket and one of Cove. CB radio is what truckers use. CBC radio is Canadian. CBC is a Canadian broadcasting corporation. Rex Murphy died. Yep. No onion slide now. Yeah, Rex Murphy. He is a Canadian political commentator. Kind of a right wing. He was a right winger. So, bit of a right wing douchebag type. And Piers Morgan. Kinda, yeah. More. Rex Murphy's more print than. Rex Murphy was more print than television. He didn't. And in Murphy's fairness, he never tried to pass himself off as a fucking journalist. Yeah, he was a commentator. He wasn't, like, oh, I'm a serious journalist. He was an opinion guy. He was an opinion dude. Doesn't true about banning American social media news. My thought is that's not what he actually did. Another difference between Rex Murphy and Piers Morgan. As far as I'm aware, Rex Murphy was not involved in hacking anyone's phones in order to in order to drive views, in order to gather eyeballs. Piers Morgan is fucking awful. He is authentic. Murphy did seem to be authentic. Why did I stop driving? I didn't really like driving. I was a very nervous driver. I was never comfortable driving, so I just, my license expired and I just never bothered renewing it. And there come a time where you can afford your own flat. The way I figure it, no, I never got my full license. The way I figure it, I will get my own apartment when one of two things happens. One of two things. Either the government steps in and straight up forces landlords to start bringing down price and forces rental companies to start bringing down prices, or the more likely option, people start building guillotines again. Baby reindeer scandal. I don't know what scandal you're talking about. I pay no attention to that the baby reindeer. Yeah, like the way I figure it, those are the only two ways that rent prices are going to come down. Either the government will have to start regulating rent prices, or else, yeah, common people are gonna start regulating rent prices. Thoughts on the rock playing Apocalypse? Yeah. Hey, Uncle Buck. I think there was a time. There was a time when The Rock as Apocalypse might have worked. Guillotine? Yes, Guillotine. Sprite Remix. I don't remember Sprite Remix. Yeah, there was a time when The Rock was sort of just early on in his career, where he was, willing and able to put in the the effort to like do different roles, to play roles differently. I feel like, and I've never watched any of his movies. Like I've never watched any movies that The Rock has done, that Dwayne Johnson has done. Literally never watched a Dwayne Johnson movie. Um, but the criticism I've heard is that he has stopped trying. That he just goes in and does the same character in every movie. Doesn't matter what the movie is, doesn't matter what he's supposed to do. He's just basically doing the same character all the time. And it feels like and I don't think that the role The Rock plays, the role that Dwayne Johnson plays, is actually suited for. What about Tooth Fairy? Even Dwayne doesn't want to talk about Tooth Fairy. Yeah, even he's like, no, I. Even he's tried to scrub that movie from his memory. Nobody enjoyed the Tooth Fairy. Anyway, yeah. So like, I don't think that the type of character that Dwayne Johnson plays in his movies would actually work for Apocalypse. Apocalypse should be downright menacing. And like not just a physical and like not just physically imposing, but just like an imposing presence. The Rock is not scary. Yeah, I mean he's big. I mean he's a big dude. He's not someone you want to get in a fight with. But he doesn't. And apparently in The Mummy, he did have a bit of an oh shit factor when he showed up as the Mummy. Jungle Cruise movie? I couldn't tell you. Yeah, like well, apparently when he played the Mummy in The Mummy, you know, he was able to give a bit of an oh shit uh, vibe. Kevin Hart, but I don't know that he would still be able to do that. It feels like he would want to play Dwayne Johnson. Like it feels like he would want to play Dwayne Johnson Yeah, he would probably want. He'd probably want all sorts of funny lines. Yeah, he'd want to quip. And Apocalypse is not a quipper. A he is a dude who makes pronouncements. Jumanji was hilarious. Yeah, but I mean, they had another Jumanji to they were able to sort of build off with the Robin Williams. They had the Robin Williams movie as a template. Sort of. They were in the game. Well, yes, but anyway, like I said, I mean, it's The Rock's capable of being funny. Like, of course, The Rock's funny. Like, of course, he's funny. Being funny is why he became one of the biggest stars in WWE history. Jumanji was hilarious. Yeah, because it had people there who are genuinely funny people, including The Rock, who is legitimately really goddamn funny. He lost a life, they'd come back because he got 3 lives. Hey, Scapegoat. Just weird because lives aren't really a big thing in most video games these days. You die, you just like go back to an earlier save. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's still Mario games. There's still a few games that, mostly platformers though. In general, the only games for the most part that still have lives are platformers. But of course, video movies about video games are seldom made by people who play video games. So whenever some movie or TV show or whatever has video games in it, they're basically never came back as a different character in the game. Jack Black. Yeah, Jack Black's funny. Yeah, whenever video games show up in like a TV show, movie, anything like that, they're almost always shown not the least bit similar to how they actually work. Apparently, there's a space station flying over me right now. Tropic Thunder? No. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've never watched any of the movies that Dwayne Johnson's been in. I do remember when he did an episode of Star Trek Voyager. He was an alien in some fighting, some like some fighting league. Prisoners being sent to fight each other in brutal, unarmed combat. And because he's the Rock, he gave somebody a rock bottom. A move that I'm pretty sure is not something that anyone would ever actually use in a real fight. Because like the whole point of it, like, it sort of relies on the other person jumping up in order for it to work. And then like I always get The Rock confused with Chris Rock. I'm sure he gets that all the time. Yeah, also like the rock bottom wouldn't be that devastating a move just because like it would knock the breath out of you and like banging your head against the ground that wouldn't feel good. But I mean it's in an actual fight it's hardly a knockout move. Sit up straighter, Cove. Like there's a lot of wrestling moves that don't actually translate to real life. One move that actually favorite low calorie meal, dick. One wrestling move that actually would work well in a real fight would be a DDT. Just grab a dude and just drive his head right into the ground. It's the kind of thing that hurt. That hurt. Pile driver as well. You could easily break a dude's neck with a pile driver. that has people have had their necks broken with pile drivers. But I feel like a pile driver is, you know, it'd be hard to pull off in a real fight. Yeah, it's not something where you're likely to get a chance to pile drive someone in a real fight. The yellow belly something move. I don't know. My little nephews would beg to differ. I mean, just put them up against someone who's not going to play along with wrestling moves. See how well they do. Buck Robley. Never heard of him. They constantly use wrestling moves on each other. Sure. I mean, my brother and I used to sort of do wrestling matches back when we watched it when we were young. I'm just saying, it's not shit that works in an actual fight. I think the main way to win a real fight is to just be tougher than the person you're fighting. Just that little bit tougher and that little bit crazier. Crazy works great in a fight. They get pissed off and do real fighting and use the moves. I fight my friends because I don't have an older brother and they don't appreciate it. I mean, to be fair, Vanna, you should probably at least give them a warning first before you before you attack them. Meth rage, roids. I think they're just mad I usually win. Hey, Tammy. All I'm saying is give peace a chance. Or all I am saying, I guess. All I am saying is give peace a chance. Hey, Maximilian. I think the white race does not find itself in any sort of bad position. The white race has never been in a terrible position. And it never will be. Because here's the thing. Yes, demographics are changing. Even once it hits a point where white people are no longer a majority. First of all, there's a difference between not being a majority and being a minority. You know, if white people make up 49% of the population, that doesn't make them a minority because, you know, blacks, Hispanics, Latinos, they will all make up smaller portions of the population than white people will. Like each of those groups will still be lesser in number than white people. White people will become a is it plurality? Nah, I haven't gotten a booster in like a year and a half. But even when that happens, it's not like the other races are going to start. Other races will not treat white people the way white people treated them. That's how I put it. Like, that's ultimately what what the replacement theory, the great replacement theory, that's ultimately what their fear is. That white people will start being treated the way white people treated everyone else. Which is false. I mean, that's not going to happen that way. Replacement theory, great replacement theory is just a fear of no longer being the only ones who matter. It's fucking nonsense. And I mean, like, by the time that happens, it's going like, interracial relationships are going to be even more common than they are now. There's going to be a lot more interbreeding and everything. Well, yeah, Maximilian. It was rich people. It was rich people fucking over everybody, same as it is now, same as it's always been. It's like throughout history, that's always been what it is. It's rich people fucking over everybody else. But yeah, fair enough. Good night, Maximilian. The Who is trying to kill us off. The band? The band, The Who? I mean, I'll admit I'm not a fan of their. I'll admit I'm not a big fan of their music, but that seems a little bit. Yeah, that seems a little bit hyperbolic. So Big Pharma doesn't want people dead. Big Pharma wants people dependent on medication for life. They have a vested interest in not actually curing diseases. The diseases do still get cured. But vaccine damage payouts. The show Doctor Who, the Canadian band The Guess Who. I have a cousin that was in that band. Ooh, nice. Yeah, as far as the World Health Organization goes, like they don't want to kill people. You know, like there are people with like there are some people within the World Health Organization who have expressed concerns about overpopulation, which is I don't think that it is as that overpopulation is actually the serious problem. The truth is, we actually have enough resources to take care of all 8 billion people on the planet right now. The reason we don't is because the resources are hoarded by the rich. Yeah, it's how those resources are distributed. And, when we had half the population, it was the same thing. We had a tenth of the population, it was the same thing. It's always like that's always how it's been. It's not about the number of people, it's about how the existing resources are distributed. And it's always unfair. Everyone knows someone who's vaccine thing. I don't. I mean, I don't know anyone with damage from vaccines. To be fair, I don't know people. But, I mean, you know what else caused a lot of long term damage? Fucking COVID. Do vaccines carry risks? I mean, sure. But the risks are usually pretty minor, pretty minimal. Yeah, there's a lot of people suffering from long COVID, suffering pretty much lifelong health complications because they got COVID. Sure, there are some people who that illegally. No, it wasn't. Yeah, I mean, sure, there are some people who ended up with health issues as a result of the vaccine, but not as many as there would have been without a vaccine. Like, not as many as people who would have had lifelong health issues from COVID if the vaccine had never been rolled out. No long-term issues. I wouldn't necessarily be so sure of that part. Lost 7 people to COVID. None were vaccinated. Yeah. Like one of the symptoms of long COVID is just like brain fog, which a lot of people wouldn't even really equate to that. Yeah, wouldn't really think of as being a health issue. There's a lot of symptoms. Like there's a lot of symptoms of long COVID. You very well may have something that you just don't even think about as being. Took your husband 2.5 years ago. Yeah, that's rough. Color purple. Yeah, like I haven't really noticed myself coughing much lately, but for a good couple years there, I did have a pretty, you know, it wasn't like constant, but I had a chronic cough. Wasn't coughing all day, but it was pretty regularly throughout the day. I would cough a bit. And I mean, it wasn't serious cough. It was just and that'd be it. But I'm pretty like I suspect that was just because of the time that I had COVID, and I had a very mild case of COVID. And even so, I'm pretty sure it left me with a cough for until very, very recently. So yeah, I mean, it's like the reality is, COVID was no fucking joke. Still isn't. COVID is no fucking joke. It is not something to take lightly. The vaccine has absolutely worked to limit how much harm it would do. It's just one of those 4 years ago. Yeah. It does bug me the extent to which people just treat COVID as being over. Because it's not. It's still going. COVID is still an issue, but governments, corporations, and a whole lot of people, regular people, just have this, man, I'm sure glad COVID is over and done with attitude. That's just basically just deluding themselves into believing it's over. Hey, West Coast. You clients with COVID now? Yeah. Yeah, like I'll still mask up whenever I go to the grocery store, but I'm like the only one in the store who wears a mask. You know, like nobody else in the store will be wearing a mask. Just took pics of Aurora Borealis. Oh, yeah, I should check if I can see it from my window. I probably can't. Too much light pollution, I think. Yeah, I see nothing from my window, but it's probably passed by now. I probably missed it. And I'm not sure I would have been able to see it anyway. I think there's a little bit, I think it's a fairly cloudy, and Cornwall does have a fair bit of light pollution, I think. So I don't think I would have been able to see it. Hope I see it once in a while. Yeah. That's good. I still do, just because I mean it's one of those things where like the fact that I'm the only one wearing a mask means that it's not even going to protect me. At the very least, like I try to, it's if nothing else, I'm at least trying to tell other people, you know, yeah, if anyone else around happens to be immunocompromised or anything, you know, they at least know that there's at least one person who's who's taking the most basic ass precaution. But yeah, I'm basically the only one. I'm like the only person in Cornwall who still bothers with a mask. I suspect probably Cornwall probably abandoned masks very quickly. I suspect. As I mean, I had a very minor case. Like when I had it, it was pretty mild. Yeah, I was down for 2 or 3 days, and a few more days recovering, but it wasn't too serious. I think I think not much worse than when I got the vaccine, frankly. But that also knocked me out for a day. All right, been an hour, so I'm gonna get going now. Gonna call it an evening. So it's been fun. Phone picked up the colors better than my eyes. One more time. I'll try to remember. Val. About 5 minutes. Yeah. I'll try to remember, but not optimistic. So thanks for coming, everybody. And Good night.